Jared and Jensen. Jensen Ackles, Jared Pelican. Woo-hoo!
Good morning, Nolans. You can do it better.
Nola,
New Orleans. I know.
Hail Bucks.
When we got done yesterday, all the restaurants, I guess Saturday, and the world's opening back up, so all the restaurants were like, yeah, we'll have a seat for you in like 2 hours or 3 hours. And I was like, do I just fucking call Bacchus and have him make a call for me? Hey, man. Luckily, we found a spot.
It was, this wasn't a strip, and I may have told the story, but I'm going to tell it again. So, the last time we were in New Orleans, and I took an Uber somewhere, and I had to sit in the front seat with a few people, and the guy driving, was like, man, you look familiar. And I was like, my name's Jared Pelican. How you doing? No, and then somebody from the back, I forget who we were with, but it was like, that's Dean from Supernatural. And the guy was like, I don't know what that is. And then my wife was in the back, she said, it's Bacchus. And he goes, oh, damn! You're the king!
Sure am.
It's a thing here. It's a thing. How's everybody doing?
Who's the first timer? Oh, shit. Who started watching this show during pandemic?
What were you raising your hand for? Oh, when it first started airing? How many people started watching it, 16 years ago?
Gosh, I know.
Okay, thank you. Whatever.
We get it.
She said, I was only 5 years old. So was I.
I wasn't even conceived yet. Well, thank y'all so much. We missed you guys.
And welcome all the newcomers. That's you guys couldn't think of anything else to do on a Sunday afternoon? Or is that,
come look at our old faces.
You're good? Solid.
Nice.
Solid.
Do what, the brewery?
So, all right, jeez.
They rehearsed that.
That was in stereo.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. That's awesome.
So pie. Well, technically we do, but they're pizza pies.
Okay. That's
No. He's like, no, man.
Nah.
No. They're gonna cut
He's
it.
gonna go back in time and not watch it. Well, shoot, you guys have been waiting. I see a hand already. I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. I think you had a question, not just waiting. Okay. Every now and again, we'll be here and I'll be like, okay, so who has a question? So we'll be like, hi. No, I was just waving. So,
Hi, I'm Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I wanted to know, Jensen, how can we get your beer to New York?
Oof. Well,
Fly down and bring it back.
drive from Austin to New York. It's probably the best way. No, we're still self-distributing right now, so we're only covering a very small portion of even Texas at this point.
Yeah, as much as Texas is not for a lot of regulations,
We are. There's a few places. There's a few places in San Antonio.
the Texas Alcohol and Beverage Commission is pretty strict. Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot of loopholes you got to jump through to do anything.
Yeah, a lot of red tape. We're probably close to getting in bed with a distributor at this point. So when that happens,
Any distributors out there?
yeah.
See two hands? See, I got five, 6, 7.
So when that happens, it might be more likely to get it in New York. But we'll see. Hopefully soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. How about right here? Yeah, you.
I can't project with a mask, so.
Well, we'll get you a mic.
Hi. So recently I was at Rhode Island Comic Con and ran into Jesse Usher. and I asked him for some info on you. I hear you have a good party trick, Jensen, that you can, he said I should ask you to chug a beer? Or shotgun a beer.
Just shotgun a beer?
Yes.
It is New Orleans. All right, bring out the beer.
So do you have any other fun party tricks too?
Wait, Jesse told you that I shotgun a beer?
Apparently more than one if you don't remember.
This sounds like me. Yeah.
If you grow up in Texas, at some point in time, you
Bit of a rite of passage.
Yeah, it is sort of a rite of passage.
But should probably go away once you hit 40, and that clearly hasn't. So, thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I'm sure I did that once or twice, or maybe even 7 times.
It's a fun night.
In front of Jesse. Yeah, that whole cast is a lot of fun. They have almost as much fun as we have, but not quite. Yeah, I had a good time. All right.
I'm gonna stay on this side. I'm gonna go the farthest that way. That's you, yes. Hey. We're trying.
Maybe if you're
What's up, girl?
Jensen, I went to Acme Oyster Bar last night. Turns out I like oysters.
Challenge accepted.
Where'd you go?
Acme Oysters down
Right?
in Fred Quarter.
Charboiled, Acme Oyster House? Some charboiled oysters?
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Have you ever had sweet potato beignets? It's so good.
Sweet potato beignets?
It says sweet potato and duck, but there's no duck that I could see.
Is it like sweet potato and then like,
Yes.
okay,
No, but it was. I think so.
that is
but
cooked in duck fat.
Go there. It's a mouth gas.
Is that also Acme?
No, it's Sobu.
So
Sobu. S-O-B.
Okay, I have another suggestion for you.
Okay.
So last night, I went to Tipitina's, which is it's an institution here in New Orleans. It's a music venue place. And went there, saw a little bit of a show, and I was like, I gotta work tomorrow, I gotta get out of here. But just outside the door, right across the street, in the median of the road there, was a guy with a big giant smoker who makes his own sausage and cooks them right there on this, I don't know how old the grill was. And my friend who lives here in New Orleans is like, you've got to try this. I'm like, no, it's street food. I'm good. And I just had dinner. Like, he's like, you need. I'm sorry, I'm not taking you home unless you have. I'm like, oh, fine. It was a religious experience. I'm not kidding. Yeah, it was like.
What time was this?
1? Gosh. 1 this morning?
And it was.
Listen, my wife's here, and I don't do well with a curfew when she's around. It's just, she's kind of in charge, so that's what happens. But I'm glad that this happened, because it was phenomenal. So if you find yourself at Tipitina's any night in the near future, look for this fella making his own sausages. Oh.
Well, she said she's going to tell my cousin's son that he's going to have a new girlfriend so she can have all the food down here.
Well, there you go. Any excuse is a good one.
Yep.
All right, let's go in the back there. Okay, yeah, you're pointing to somebody else, which I like that method. That's nice.
Supernatural tends to give us like flawed parents who are also heroic, and I'm wondering now that Sam's a dad, what do you think his strengths and weaknesses are?
Sorry, what? I caught half that.
Now that Sam's a dad on the show, what do you think his strengths and weaknesses would be as a parent, since Supernatural's parents tend to be flawed people?
Got it.
I still think.
Now that Sam is a father,
Yes.
what do you think Sam's strengths and weaknesses are, since parents of Supernatural tend to be flawed?
Oh, I see. Well, we all know how Sam's flawed. Sam's dead now, his father. So, his strength.
Very flawed.
He's in heaven. So I think.
What an absent father you are.
Sucks being dead. I feel like, I hope that Sam, I've figured and thought that Sam would have tried to take the best of all of these wonderful characters, his brother most of all, that he learned throughout the years, and been a really supportive and patient and kind father. But I'm sure he still has demons. I'm sure he still didn't sleep too well, and he probably told Dean Jr. to read too many books so that he could kind of take after Sam.
And gave him a 45 to keep
Thank
him
you for Thanks for bumping the night. Thank you. That's me. Right there. Another pointing at a pointer. Pointed at. Behind you.
That's the new method, guys.
Behind you. The other behind you. The one where you face the other direction. Yes, that one.
One where you face the other direction.
It's early.
Go behind you. The other behind you. The one where you face the other direction. Oh, that one.
That's all I can think of.
Got it.
Of course, I wanted to thank you guys for the finale. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. You guys were amazing.
Thank you.
And there was lots of ugly crying afterwards.
On camera as well.
Yes.
Lots of ugly crime.
But what I wanted to ask is, whatever happened to the rich Chesters that went on down to Brazil? What are they doing? I would love to see them on a bus.
The fans category.
Oh, the rich character. Oh, yeah. The alter ego.
Oh, right, the alter egos.
They're probably,
We call them Bizarro Sam and Dean.
yeah. They're probably somewhere looking at themselves in the mirror.
The Bizarro Chesters.
The bizarre Chesters. Yeah, that's a good question. That was a fun episode.
That was fun for us too.
Okay, good, because we try to have.
You leaned into that one pretty good.
I had to. I
It was-
I knew it was coming, and I was like, I'm gonna get all the silly nonsense out.
You made it difficult for me. Those takes. I just look over and like, whatever you're doing with your face, it was just like,
At least,
what's he doing with his face?
at least,
I can't.
at least I didn't tip my chair over.
This is true. Yeah. The bad thing is with that, tipping the chair, it happened accidentally the first time, and then they were like, yeah, do that every time. And then it just
goes stunt.
it doesn't work like naturally to like tip your chair over. It was, anyway, I don't know what they're probably at some internet cafe. Drinking an oat latte.
Either that or the real Sam and Dean took care of them before they went to that barn. So, I don't even know. I don't want some dude that looks like me in a purple suit. Like, the pants came up to here. I was like, there's a lot of ankle showing. Is this cool? Is this all right? Is this all right? Can be out? All right. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the finale.
Yeah, they're shopping at outlet malls right now. That's what they're doing. Okay, all right. Okay, hey, all right. How about the guy who's angry with me? Yeah. Yeah, you. All right. No, the other guy that's saying, yeah, come on.
All right, what are the best tacos?
He's like, this whole road hates you, dude. You don't have pie, it's a brewery. Get it together.
Best tacos in Texas and why?
Oh gosh, that's tough.
Dangerous.
That's a difficult question.
I mean,
No, not close.
well, Austin. Yeah, I'm going to say Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, and not just because we're biased, but that's why we moved there.
You know what? Austin does have the best tacos in Texas. I'm going to go with this place that I would go to every day, basically, almost, that's hyperbole. There's a place on O'Connor Road in San Antonio, near where I grew up. Go O'Connor Road, yeah. Cliff, keep an eye on that one. There's a place called Tejas Cafe, and they would have these giant homemade flour tortillas, and I think when I was growing up, it was like 85 cents, and it was a giant tortilla with bacon and egg, or chorizo and egg, or potato and egg. And we would go, my brother and I, and we grew rapidly in our high school years, and we were very hungry, and so we would go and get all this salsa and like 5 or 6 tacos that were giant, and then be like, hey, let's let's go to Schlitterbahn. And then you get to Schlitterbahn and you're in your bathing suit and you're like, these tacos ain't sitting too well. I don't know if I trust the bathrooms, but the
Schlitterbahn is a water park.
It's a, yeah.
For those of you, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, Schlitterbahn, what is that?
Long story short, the moral of my story is don't have 6 tacos and go to Schlitterbahn, but you can have 6 tacos and go for a nap. That works. So I'm gonna go with just because also it's, as a matter of fact, when they made beers for us, season 1, they asked us to think of funny names or something that meant something to you. And my beer was called Larkler Tejas, and it's because of Tejas Cafe. It's because of the tacos at Tejas Cafe. So, yeah. Go O'Connor. But I want to hear, you go to Stable, you do Taco Deli or Torchy's. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, I'm
trustworthy.
There's some really good, I would probably go Taco Deli.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, Taco Deli's great.
it's always solid.
I would like to go with somebody who's not angry at me.
Yeah.
Okay. I see 2 hands in the back. There were 2 hands, they just went down, she got tired. Or were you smelling your armpits? Yes, you with the fingers. Just because it's blurry and I'm like, well, just so we say.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
First, I just wanted to say thank y'all because of your show. I met my best friend online and we came here together. So
Awesome.
Also, Jensen, this is for you real quick. It wasn't me, but did you see the shirt with Daniil on it that said the best thing about Jackals was his wife, and how did you feel about it?
Well, I feel like the framing was a little off because I literally got cut out of the photo, which, well done, nice move. It's a nice little like accent on the whole shirt. It's literally like I think Daniil's better, and I get cut out of the photo. Which, okay, I got it. Thank you. I appreciated it. And I may have mentioned it to her, and she may be coming by this afternoon, so. Just to see that shirt, so if you don't have it on, put it on. It's on? You have it on? Looking for you later. Okay, right here, we thought you got called a second ago, but yeah, there you go. Yes. Keep your hand up, Right, nope, keep coming. The other, keep coming.
Hey now.
Stop. It's a family program.
Hi, my name is Summer.
Hi, Summer.
I asked this question to Jared last night, and he gave me a great answer.
Whoa!
I swear, you gave a great answer, but it's something important that I really wanted to talk about, and that is talking about why Dean's death was not him giving up, but accepting his point in the story.
Why Dean's death?
That was not giving
It's
up.
not because Dean is always known for never giving up and always keep fighting and keep living, and why he didn't take the opportunity to have Sam help him and go to, get an ambulance, and why.
She didn't like my answer. So she's,
Are you looking for another answer? Is that it?
Well,
Ooh, precious own. I have 2 thoughts on this. One is, and this is something that we heavily discussed during the filming of said scene, was that physically and logistically, we were playing the fact that it had the rebar had positioned itself in a way that if I was taken off of it, that it would be instant death. So that it was like basically holding my lungs together, holding my torso together, which if you took me off of that, then it would just, I would be gone in seconds. So that's kind of how we had to play that in order for it to make sense, so that he didn't go and run and get an ambulance or go and get the medic bag and Impala and go into triage mode. So that's how we kind of answered that question on the day and logistically, but more kind of in theory of why Dean didn't struggle so much. I mean, there was like, he was not happy that he was stuck on a post in the middle of a barn. And in fact, I think there was something I added there, which was I just yelled. I forget what I said, like damn it, or just like damn it. Like that was not scripted, but I just feel like he would have been like I wasn't prepared for this right now. But once it settled in that this was happening, I think, and we talked a little bit about this in the meet and greet yesterday, that there, and I think they mentioned that you talked about it too, about how much time had elapsed between the God showdown and the barn scene. And I think, I always assumed it was several years had gone by. And so they had been living in basically their ideal setting for several years. They beat the big bad, they saved the world, they saved themselves, they were doing what they love, they were in a routine that made sense. Everything was, they found their sweet spot. And I feel like that played into Dean's acceptance that he had made it. He was okay because he got to where he needed to go. And he was there and had been living there for a while. And that was what he needed in his life. And he kind of found it. And so I think it was easier for him to say a few things that he needed to say to his brother at the end.
I guess I have a dark sensibility because I was like, it was quick. They drove home from God and got killed.
You said it was like 5 years. You said it was 5 years.
Between what and what?
Between the God showdown and the barn scene. That we had been living in that routine for like 5 years of like going on hunts and...
That's not enough years. Oh, come on. All right, fine. You're quick. Hi, everybody. She's doing the prom wave. Is that prom? No, that's it.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering if you two lovely gentlemen would mind showing us an elbow?
You want to see my weenus? We barely know each other.
I don't know.
Thank you for your question.
This is not strong enough. I'm sure that means something in like the TikTok world that I don't know.
No, it was a
DJ.
It was a DJ.
Okay.
Oh, DJ's involved? Yeah, definitely not showing him.
Thank you for the question. I'm going to find out what it means.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out from DJ after I punch him. Okay. All right. There's like 7 hands pointing at one person over there. Okay. There you go. That's it. It's an octopus.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to thank my team over here for 5,000 hands pointing at me, but I have a really serious question. I just want to know what kind of coffee y'all are drinking. And it's my care of the dog.
It's a good question. I think it's just a non-fat latte.
Black coffee.
Wait, you don't know what you're drinking?
Vanilla non-fat latte. I've been getting the same thing for 13 years. So whenever I ordered it, back in probably Chicago Con, just out my soul. Yeah, but it's good. It's tasty. Got some little bit of sugar. Thank you. I've been seeing you right there with the phone. Yeah.
This is a Jameson latte?
No, Gail, I was going to go with that, but I think that's also afterwards. Yes.
Hi, I'm Bill from New Orleans.
You're also Gail?
Bill.
Bill from New Orleans.
Sorry, that was funny. That's Gail right there. I was like, that's...
My wife and I are huge WWE fans as well, and that episode, Beyond the Mat, when wrestled or played with the Miz, how was that episode for you?
Well, at first he was lovely. We had a really good time working with him. And then our buddy Alex Bonbeck, who played I forget the character's name now, but like the other star wrestler that Dean was so excited to see. I mean, that was just one of those episodes and one of those storylines that we really have fun doing because it's it's a little bit out of the norm when we do things like that. So we really eat those up. I liked it. I will say
they're both great guys. They're big old scary guys
who are just sweethearts. Yeah.
Ponovic was a heavyweight boxer in Canada for years, and he and Tomo still kickbox and train together. and Paul Lazenby. He was like a mixed martial artist in Japan. Like he's been all over the place, even before the UFC started. And they're the scariest guys and the kindest guys you could ever hope to know and call friends.
Yeah, I think I mean, in my experience, like those trained fighters, those guys that have like really been in it and understand that world, tend to be like the sweetest, gentlest souls. Like it's like they don't have to puff their chest up because they know they can kill you. Truly, like I find that more often than not when I meet like fighters or trained boxers or something. It's like they're like the most like calm and cool and collected folks, and
they pull their hair back and they have cauliflower ear, and you're like, oh,
you're like not messing with you. Nope. Respect. Yeah, but that was a fun episode. Thanks.
Are you looking at us, Cliff? No. Okay.
He can't see that far, man.
He only sees movement.
He doesn't have his glasses.
You don't move, you won't see it.
Is he a T-Rex?
Velociraptor.
Everybody go. Stay still. T-Rex.
Well, you thought you were going to have a question. Yeah, Gail.
Awesome. Look at that. You don't have to run. I'll say.
Thank you. So my question is, I was curious how you think Sam would have reacted on Dean Jr.'s 6-month birthday.
He didn't leave the room. Let's put it that way. I thought you remembered. Yeah, I think Sam was very aware of what still goes bump in the night, and I think Sam did some stuff in his years behind the scenes, you know, and go take care of stuff that he was concerned about, or something that might threaten his family. And you can bet that Dean Jr. slept in the same room as Daddy Sam.
Yeah, we want to talk about a helicopter parent. Yikes.
Totally obnoxious helicopter parent. Thank you. I'm gonna go, gosh, now everybody's pointing at everybody.
Nobody has a real question, they're just pointing at their friends. That's.
I'm gonna go right here, Rainbow Mask. I like the beat. Look at this open chair next to you.
Hi.
Hi.
I have my question on my phone because I'm going to ramble if I actually look at it.
You have a question on your phone?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah, just airdrop it to me. That's fine.
My anxiety for that. So I'm just going to read it. So
You're okay. You're good.
Hi. I'm fine. So I was going to read all of this. First, thank you, Jared, because your work with AKF and destigmatizing mental health. It's inspirational, honestly, and you and your portrayal of Sam helped me, and I know a lot of other people throughout all the years, so thank you for that. My question, though, is about the finale. So it was established in season 5 that Sam and Dean were both, because they shared a heaven, they were, at least Ash said that, at least inferred in the episode, that they were soulmates because they shared a heaven. Platonic soulmates, just to make sure to clarify. And I was wondering, as you, Jared and Jensen, and Sam and Dean, is that something that you kept in mind throughout the rest of the show? That at least knowing in the future that they would be sharing a heaven? And is that part of the security they had in the finale after they kind of established their own routine, knowing that after the fact that they would be also sharing a heaven, because they didn't know that Jack would change it.
Sure.
And I guess also on top of that, after Dean died, Sam, is that something that he ever worried about, was going to heaven and knowing that he would
I think we understand. Yeah, thank you. I think Sam and Dean, you know, especially after, say, season 8 or 9, knew that they were going to be together one way or the other, whether on this planet or the next, and especially when, you know, Jack and Cass came along and wanted to offer their help. Like Heaven Bobby said, you know, they had a big hand in heaven and making sure it happened. So I do think that, I don't think Sam was worried that he would never see his brother again. I think he knew it was going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah, I think there was, probably find that in that scene on the bridge. Very end, there, you know, Dean wasn't like, oh my gosh! What are you doing here? This is so weird!
Aren't you fucking weird?
Like an episode of The Californians, like, what are you doing here?
What did you think I died? Yeah.
I will say that thing, I like broke out crying when he sent Sam the Heisman.
Right, and that was always meant to be like that. That moment was supposed to be like, yeah, Dean was supposed to be like, you know, what took you so long? About time, kind of thing. Not, what are you doing? Yeah, so I think they knew. They knew that they would see each other again.
And on that note, we're out of time for this go panel. I'm sorry.
We're not going anywhere. We'll be back. I'll see you later. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.